You're watching the Real Football Network. This is Real Football Analytics, and I'm John Pollard. Today we want to talk about the 2-4 Seattle Seahawks. Now, as everybody knows, this team has struggled defensively, giving up leads in the second half and late into the fourth quarter, and it's brought them to this 2-4 record. And of course, as we all know, they're one missed call away from being 1-5. It seems fairly desperate times for the Seattle Seahawks. You know, earlier this week, our own Jim Miller broke down the game-winning touchdown pass from Cam Newton to Greg Olsen. And in that piece, Jim not only broke down the play, but suggested there might be some communication challenges in that Seattle's defense. Are their struggles a matter of communication, scheme, losing a great defensive coordinator like Dan Quinn, losing a player like Byron Maxwell, putting it all together? You know, we don't have statistics that quantify specific communication issues, but we thought we'd go back and look at some numbers over the past couple of years to see if we can find out what the challenges are in terms of the Seattle Seahawks defense. Now, we're using the ICE application provided to us by our partners at Stats Inc. And ICE is an application that has all types of statistics and analytics available, and the majority of pro teams uses for game planning and player evaluation purposes. And let's select the Seattle Seahawks because that's our topic team for today's report. Let's go to the reports module and look at the entire report profile for the Seahawks. And there's a set of specific reports we want to dive into. The first report we're looking at is air yards allowed. Now, this is our team defense, pass defense evaluation report that we look at that allows us to break down the various pass depths that the Seattle Seahawks defend against and where they have particular challenges. Let's dig into the numbers. Now, here we're looking at a breakdown of 2014 versus 2015. And the three areas we wanted to focus in on was the overall pass completion percentage allowed by the Seahawks defense. And as you can see, in 2014, throughout the entire season, the Seattle Seahawks defense ranked 12th in pass completion percentage allowed. Currently, in 2015, they are trending at the 21st place, so obviously a little bit worse for the wear so far. That could be a byproduct of some of those communication issues that Jim Miller mentioned in one of his earlier reports in breaking down Cam Newton's winning touchdown pass to Greg Olsen this past week. Also, if we go into the intermediate passing completion percentage, this obviously jumps out to us. The Seahawks, again, were middle of the league last year in the 15th place at the end of 2014, of course, a Super Bowl year. In 2015, they are last in the league in the intermediate passing completion percentage allowed. Now, to remind you, the intermediate pass range for us is 6 to 15 yards. So those are those short slant routes that many teams have incorporated in their offensive game planning. The Seahawks have had a real challenge defending that. Could that be a matter of scheme, communication issues, or losing a player like Byron Maxwell, who's now with the Philadelphia Eagles? Perhaps that defensive secondary in its new configuration and without their defensive coordinator Dan Quinn is still getting used to each other. And let's look at the deep ball passing completion percentage allowed. Again, in 2014, the Seahawks were nearly impossible to pass against. They were third in the league in pass completion percentage allowed with an incredible 29.9%. And deep ball passes are 16 plus yards down the field. They are now trending towards the end of the bottom of the league at allowing 47.4% completion percentage on deep ball passes. You know, over the last 2 years, that was unheard of. Now let's take a look at some more details regarding the Seahawks defense. Let's take a look at big plays allowed. Now, big plays allowed allows us to break down big runs of 10 plus yards allowed by a defensive team and also big passes that we define as 20 plus yards. Okay, what we're looking at here is a breakdown of the big plays allowed by the Seattle Seahawks defense from 2013 to 2015. Some areas of emphasis that I want to point out in terms of challenges and areas of optimism. First, let's move over to the column where it says big pass plays ranked. As you can see, in 2013, the Seattle Seahawks defense ranked first in the league, only allowing a total of 30 plays of 20 plus yards through the air. They carried that same consistency over to their Super Bowl follow-up year in 2014, again ranking first in the league, only allowing a total of 32 plays. This is an alarming trend. Let's look at 2015. The Seattle Seahawks have already given up 23 pass plays of 20 plus yards, placing them 26th in the league. Obviously, 2 consecutive years ranking first, moving to 26th in the league. That is an indication of certainly communication challenges, perhaps loss of talent in someone like Byron Maxwell, who worked really well within that unit. And again, perhaps the Seahawks are missing their former defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Let's jump over to an area of optimism real quick. Let's move to the left side of the report and look at the big runs rank. In 2013, despite winning the championship in the Super Bowl, The Seattle Seahawks defense ranked 19th, allowing 48 big runs. They improved significantly in the run game defense in 2014, ranking 3rd at the end of the season, only allowing 30 plays of 10-plus yards on the ground. But let's look at 2015. That run defense is doing great. They're ranking 1st in the league, only allowing 9 plays of 10-plus yards on the run. This is really a Jekyll and Hyde story right now, and it's something that the Seattle Seahawks fans could potentially hold on to. Your run defense is better than it's been your last 2 Super Bowl seasons. It's that passing defense that you have to shore up. Let's take a further look at a report that I like to review each and every week for all teams, the pressures report. Now, this report does combine some offensive metrics that we'll touch on briefly, but again, we want to focus primarily on the defense. Let's dig into the numbers. Now, as I promised, we'll only touch upon the offensive pressure report area. Let's look at the sacks. Obviously, that young offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks has had challenges all year. Russell Wilson's been running for his life, and currently in 2015, in terms of sacks allowed, the Seattle Seahawks are dead last, ranked 32nd. And in the pressures area, not a good combination. They're also ranked dead last in allowing the most pressures. That's something they're going to have to deal with the entire season as our offensive line matures and learns how to work together. Let's jump into the defensive numbers. On the defensive side of the ball, let's take a look at the sacks through 2013 to 2015. Of course, in the Super Bowl championship year, the Seattle Seahawks were 8th in the league at the end of the season with 44 total sacks. The second year, last year, in 2014, when they returned to the Super Bowl, they actually only ranked 20th with 37 total sacks. In 2015, we're trending more towards that 2013 number. They're trending right now in 10th in the league, generating 13 sacks. Another area of optimism for those Seattle Seahawks fans. Let's look at the pressure rankings. In 2013, they were ranked 5th in the league in total pressures. In 2014, they dropped back down to 21st. Now in 2015, we're seeing a marginal improvement in terms of trends from the 2014 season. This is an area, again, of potential optimism for that Seahawks defense. Now that we've looked at pressures, let's take a look at one more set of defensive metrics that I like to use every single week, and that is tackle quality. And again, as we jump into the numbers here, and specifically for the Seattle Seahawks, tackle quality is a byproduct of missed and broken tackles and total tackle opportunities to come up with an overall percentage. The Seattle Seahawks are known for employing a very unique and specific way to tackle, to shorten long plays, and they've been known for that for years. Let's take a look at the numbers over the past few years and see where they are so far in 2015. Here we're looking at the tackle quality breakdown from 2013 through 2015. Again, very obvious that in the 2013 Super Bowl championship year, that tackle quality was a major factor for the Seattle Seahawks. They ranked 3rd in the league, tackling players at 88.6% consistency. It's a fantastic score. Now you'll notice in 2014 they fell down to 18th in the league, but their tackle quality percentage actually went down just a little over a point. That is indicative of all NFL teams increasing the quality of the tackle capabilities, recognizing that sound tackling is a way to shorten that short passing game and limit yards after catch and yards after contact for receivers and rushers. Now in 2015, this is a potentially alarming trend. The Seattle Seahawks are staying pretty significant, not keeping up with the rest of the league. They're right now 21st in the league in tackle quality. In my opinion, from what I reviewed in terms of the Seattle Seahawks game film, this could be a matter of communication as well. I don't believe those defensive backs, in particular the safeties, are in the appropriate places each and every time, so the short passes tend to get extended a little bit longer. I think this is something that can be corrected and will be addressed by the Seattle Seahawks coaching staff. I believe we'll see improvements for the Seattle Seahawks as the 2015 season progresses in this category. Of course, being 2-4 at this juncture of the season isn't optimal for the Seattle Seahawks. Hopefully, a review of the numbers over the past few years gives Seahawks fans a glimmer of hope for the rest of the season. You know, this week the Seahawks play the San Francisco 49ers, a division rival they know really well. I can't think of a better game to get those communication issues tightened up and execute to their optimal capability. I'm not betting against the Seattle Seahawks defense. I think they're going to get things right, and a look at the numbers over the past few years suggests they could be on track starting this week. For Real Football Analytics, I'm John Pollard.